Everyone, this is Kirei with another scrapbook process video for Bramble Fox, and for this layer I'm using the Destination Adventures set and the Fox cut number 28, the fireworks one. Okay, so here you can see the two perspectives. The Adventures in that really pretty lemon, and then the Destination is in that sort of frosty blue. And I've got two photos there, and I'm going to use them on the layout with a sort of a load of frames. So I'm using the Pinkfresh Studio Happy Heart collection. And I've just taken that sort of diagonal stripe paper, gutted the center of it because I want to use that as a frame. And then I've just trimmed the white cardstock down to about 11.5 inches and distressing the edges, of course. And then I'm going to get that stuck down onto the frame and use that as a bit of a feature just to pull that whole design together. When I was sort of looking at it initially, it felt just the plain white background was just a little bit too plain and needed something else. So got my photos, and then I'm just going to sort of create a sort of a grid design, I guess, in a way, but it's, you know, it's a bit more random. So you can see I've got the Happy Heart frame set there, and you get loads of frames, and often it's one of those things that you think, what am I going to do with them? How am I going to use them? And I have actually done something like this before on a layout. So I decided to pull out the frames because the colours I thought were perfect with the two perspectives, the Destination and the Adventures. So I've pulled out sort of matching blue and yellow ones, and a couple in a sort of a softer, I guess a creamy colour with some gold on it. And I'm just sort of marking where they're all going to sit because I am going to add some stenciling, just a light bit of stenciling to the background because it felt a little bit plain and I just wanted to add a little bit more detail. And I love this Fox cut number 28 stencil. It's just a really soft, sort of subtle pattern with the fireworks, but just adds a little bit more to the background. So I'm using a couple of distress oxides. I've got the scattered straw, the yellow colour that I'm using here, and I'm using broken china, a more blue turquoisey colour. Just wiping off the stencil before I start using the blue, and then I can just add that stencil detail in and then start to layer up. Now I did go and machine stitch around the border of the white cardstock, and I did that off camera, so I just, again, that was a little bit more detail that I've added around that edge. And then I'm just working out where else I think I'm going to get another blue one up the top right and another yellow one over to the left there. I'm just sort of putting the frames back in, just trying to work out how much is being covered up, and you know, where the photos sit and where I'm going to add my titles. So we'll get the other stenciled elements added in now. I'm sort of happy with how that's sort of looking. I've added 5. I tend to always look to go for usually an odd number. That tends to be sort of, from a I guess a design perspective, is a little bit more pleasing working with odd numbers. It's like the rules of 3. So yeah, so I've got those on, and I'm just rubbing out the pencil markings that I had before. And then I'm going to have a look at the frames I'm going to use, because I'm going to back some of them because I just don't want them to be plain and straight onto the background, particularly where some of them are sat over the stencils. So I'm just pulling out some of the pattern papers, but I'm not going to make you watch me do all of that because it does take a little while. Some of them I've backed with pieces of ephemera. And some I've left open, but I am obviously adding some detail into there, and you can see I've added some butterflies and some bunches of flowers to a couple of the frames. They're not stuck down yet. I'm going to work on that now. So I've got my two photos, and I've just mounted them with a really pale, soft blue patterned paper, and then I've just distressed the edges of those, and I've mounted both of them on sticky back foam. So again, creating a little bit of extra dimension to the two photos. Okay, so again, just sort of placing things around. And there we go. I remembered I hadn't added the foam onto that photo. I was thinking then, I'm sure I added foam on that one, and I do. So getting out the trusty T-square, making sure everything is nice and straight like I like it. And then I'm just having a look at the title that I'm going to use. And I have this alpha, and I'm pulling out the sort of yellows and adding my letters, but I don't quite have what I need. So I'm just getting that there. I'm going to straighten it up in a moment. I'm just making sure I'm happy with how it looks. And then I can work on that. Okay, I've moved on and I have got stuck down. Those of you who will have noticed, I'd started to write Terrigal before, but actually I had the wrong place. It's Kincumber. So this is actually in Australia. It's actually where my parents live. So they live in Kincumber, but Terrigal is the beach nearby, near to them. So I did have to change that. But I couldn't make Kincumber out of all the yellows, so I just added a couple of the blue letters in, and I like how that looks. And then on the left, I've got destination Central Coast, because the area they live in is the Central Coast, which is just north of Sydney in New South Wales. Okay, I think I'm going to start to get these stuck down now. Yes, I am. So just going to, again, making sure they are all straight. I am so particular about that sort of thing. People who know me know I'm absolutely, I think I used to be called, it's been called like Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way. I just need things to be just right. Otherwise, I'll be looking at it and no, it's not straight. So, sticking down the little cluster of flowers just inside the frame, but raising on the outside. And I think I'm just sort of working my way through those. This was really quite a simple layout to pull together. As I said, it is a design style that I have used before with the frames and the sort of offset grid, but I really, really like how it looks and how it came together. I've got the little floral ephemera card behind that frame. It says wonderful. And then I've just layered up a little fussy cut flower onto it, just again to add some dimension. Got the little butterfly there onto the yellow frame. And then on the blue frame, I have got that little sort of, it's like a little pot of, a plant pot, I should say. I was trying to think of the right word there. And then this small one here, another small cluster of flowers. So it's almost done. I think getting all of that stuck down. I think it might move on in just a moment. And then I'll just add the sort of finishing details. Okay. Yep, here we go. Okay, so I think I've added just a couple of extra sort of chipboard stickers. The round one at the bottom that says family time, the blue at the top, the stay on the sunny side. And now I'm just bringing in some of the enamel dots. I've just used the sort of very soft, sort of peachy colour and then the soft blue, and just adding 2 rows of 3 and a couple of random ones. And just add a little bit more detail. And then I don't have too much left to do, actually. So I hope this has given you some inspiration on how to use the fabulous perspectives. I really love these two. I mean, I don't often use 2 sort of titles on a layout, but actually I felt like it really worked well together using the Kincumber Adventures, Destination Central Coast. So I'm really happy with how that worked. And then I think just to finish off, I decide that I'm going to add just a few splatters around those firework stencils that I've added. So I'm just mixing up some of the yellow and adding that to the yellow fireworks. And then I'm going to add some of the blue to the blue fireworks in the background. And then that is it. I actually didn't add any journaling to this, which is really, really unusual for me, but I couldn't actually decide where it wanted to go without sort of setting how it looked. So I actually just wrote the date at the bottom of the layout, and you can just see that here in the final picture. So there's some close-ups coming up. Here's that beautiful lemon adventures perspective, and then the really pretty frosty blue destination, and you'll see some close-ups of the fireworks stencil. I hope you've enjoyed watching this process video. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.